Exploring the universe from your backyard. Welcome back to Techstination. I'm Fred Fishkin, and we are talking about a telescope that helps to bring astronomy to the masses, maybe even a great Father's Day gift to consider. With us from Unistellar is CEO and co-founder Laurent Marfisi.
Hi.
Great to see you, and we've become big fans of what you are doing and bringing new technology to astronomy to make it more accessible. Tell us a bit about the history of the company.
Well, thank you for having me. Very honored to be here. So the idea of the company comes from quite a while back when I myself and my co-founder were teenagers, and we had a telescope. Each a different. I had a refractor, and he had a reflector, a small reflector, and we were amazed by what we saw when we observed the moon on the summer nights. Uh, we were also impressed by Saturn. But then when we wanted to explore the galaxies, the nebulae, the comets, it was a bit more difficult. It was quite deceptive. It was quite disappointing to just be able to see a blob of gray light. And then we learned that we had to do astrophotography to be able to see those objects. But we were not too much into that. And then time passed, and many years later, my friend told me he had an idea to implement the new generation of CMOS. This was in around 2013, 2014. The CMOS sensors started to become really good at imaging the sky. And they offered the possibility to create an image live by doing quick stacking because of their capability to have very low read noise. And so he had this idea to use these sensors to enhance the capability of the human eye to see the things that we cannot see even with a telescope, the galaxies, the nebulae, the comets, because they are too faint. And so we started to make a first prototype, and the results were really good. We demonstrated it in some star parties, and the experience was really funny because we came at these big star parties where people had huge telescopes, and we came with our small prototype with a small reflector, and at first people were all queuing behind the big instruments to see what you're able to see in the big telescope. And at the end of the night, everyone was queuing near our prototype because you could see a lot more the galaxies, the nebulae, the comets, thanks to the power, the sensitivity of the sensor, and our algorithms that were enhancing the view that was in the telescope.
So you blended this imaging technology that you're referring to with the ability to find the objects, which has been another big challenge for people who have just been dabbling in astronomy.
Yeah, the astronomy is inspiring for almost everyone. Everybody's interested in astronomy, and everybody's curious when they see a telescope. The problem is first, as I was describing, the capability to see with the telescope is actually, ironically, quite limited. And second, it requires some practice, some knowledge to find your way in the sky, to operate the telescope, etc., to choose the right telescope, etc. And so the idea was to build the telescope of our dreams, where you would first be able to see finally all those objects that you could not see with a normal telescope, but also you could do it in a very convenient way, where you would learn astronomy while practicing it, as opposed to having to learn a lot before using the telescope.
So let's talk about the Odyssey line and how it enables amateurs to see what they've never seen before. I've purchased an Odyssey Pro, and I'll show some of the images it's captured as we speak here, but step us through just how easy this is to set up and use.
So yeah, it's a compact instrument. That's the first thing to know. It's a compact instrument that fits in a medium-sized backpack. It weighs approximately 12 to 14 pounds. You set it up on its tripod, and you turn it on. Then you connect it to the app, and the app, the control app of the telescope, will propose to you a series of objects that are interesting to see right at the moment where you're observing and from where you're observing. So you don't have to go through the difficulties of finding your way or planning your night of observation in advance. You just pop up the telescope, set it up on its tripod, connect it to the app, choose any of the most interesting objects that the catalog proposes to you, adapted to the moment you're observing, and it will just point at it, and in a matter of 2 or 3 minutes, from the moment you take it out of the backpack and the moment you start to observe, you are traveling through the universe.
And it's rechargeable, and you can pretty much take it anywhere, even if you don't have a Wi-Fi signal nearby, right? Because it can use your phone.
Yeah, exactly. So all the data is on the telescope is updated regularly every 6 months. You don't need internet connection to have the telescope or to operate the telescope. You just connect your phone to the telescope through Wi-Fi, and there is an internal Wi-Fi in the telescope that makes the connection. It's just aimed at connecting the phone and the telescope to use the phone as a remote control. And yeah, you can observe from anywhere, be it your backyard or the nearby mountain where you have a better sky. Even if there is no internet connection, you will be able to enjoy the telescope.
What are the differences in the different telescopes that you have?
So we have two lines of telescopes, the expert line and the Odyssey line. The expert line is a bit more specialized towards astrophotography and citizen science. It has a capability to see more fainter objects, fainter things in the sky. The Odyssey is more specifically tailored at making the process enjoyable, easy, and it has the versatility to enable good observation of the planets as well as the nebulae and galaxies, as opposed to the expert line where it's a bit more specialized toward galaxies, nebulae, comets, and very faint objects.
And even in the Odyssey line, you have two different models, I think. So tell us about them.
Yeah, exactly. We have telescopes that have an eyepiece and the models that do not have an eyepiece. So the models with an eyepiece, it's an electronic device. It's an electronic eyepiece that projects the image in the eye at infinity focus, and it really gives you the sensation that you're looking through a normal telescope. It's really, really enjoyable for two main reasons. The infinity focus provides really a very relaxing experience to the eye, and it feels like you're looking very, very far away, like when you're looking at the sky or looking at faraway mountains. It really gives you the feeling, okay, I'm watching at a galaxy or a nebula, and it really is a hit when you are hosting a party, sharing astronomy with the people. They love to be looking through the eyepiece. And for people who are using the telescope a little bit less in social contexts, we have the models without the eyepiece that are cheaper, but provide similar specs apart from that. And on those models, you can only observe through using the iPad you're controlling it with, or the telephone, or the computer.
So you'd look through your device to see, and you can also use that with the model that has the eyepiece. You can also use the
The model with the eyepiece, you can observe both with your phone, your iPad, your pad, or or the eyepiece.
And tell us about the eyepiece a little bit, because I think you have a partnership that really brought some very high quality to it.
Yes. Yeah, the aim of the eyepiece being to provide a very good visual experience. We partnered with Nikon to have excellent optics, a very great assembly of optics and electronics, so as to provide the best images possible in the eyepiece.
Tell us about some of the other partnerships that you have in terms of organizations. I think NASA, SETI. I don't know if
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
as well.
So that is the part of the project that really is passion, really brings passion in our company and for me as well is we very early in the story of the company, we wanted to leverage the connectivity of the telescope and its ease of use to allow people to participate meaningfully and usefully to science discoveries. And so we developed partnerships with the SETI Institute and NASA to allow people to collect data for those institutions. And we have 5 fields of research where we collaborate with these institutions. So we have research in exoplanets. Exoplanets are planets, worlds that orbit around other stars than the sun. Um, we have a field of research in comets, asteroids, etc. And what happens is that uh, people can enroll in these programs and they will receive notifications to take their telescope out and observe. And then they will transmit the data to our servers. We will transmit it to our partners institutions. They will receive a report of what they have been observing and the results they've provided. And many times this ends up with a scientific publication where the users who participated are cited as co-authors of a discovery. And we have we've had recently, we've had a publication in Nature Publications, the most prestigious scientific publication, where 31 of our users did key measurements right after the impact of the DART mission on the asteroid that was impacted by the DART mission.
Wow, that's pretty exciting stuff. So you've got some special pricing going on through the 22nd of June. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about that and how it works.
Yeah, that's we think that our telescope are a great way to connect the generations. We have many dads and moms with their children who use the telescope, be it for the enjoyment of observing the heavens, or for the incredible experience that is to participate in a scientific experiment. That we decided to make a special offer for Father's Day, and from May 23rd to June 22nd, we offer a 15% discount on all our telescopes.
And I understand you also have some smart binoculars on the way, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's our latest hardware innovation. We have announced our Envision smart binoculars. It's the first smart binocular of their kind. Um, they use augmented reality. These are actually normal binoculars that have an augmented reality engine in them that projects an augmented reality overlay on what you will be observing through the binoculars. That will allow us to provide guidance when observing the sky, where you will be able to find easily any object you've heard about on the radio, for example, that comet you sometimes hear about in the radio and you do not know how to find. Well, with these binoculars, it will be very easy to use and to find. And we also use this augmented reality to layer an overlay of maps, names, ways mountain names, water sources, when you're observing a landscape with the binoculars, for example, when you're on a hike. And so these binoculars are still in development, but we are offering them in pre-sales campaigns at a reduced pricing for people who are interested in adopting this new technology early on.
Will they also be able to take pictures, photographs?
No, they won't be equipped with a photograph with a camera. They rely on GPS position and IMUs, orientation technology, to provide contextual data on what you're observing.
And we should point out that the telescopes all can take images too, as people have seen as we've gone along here. And
Correct.
that's
Yes.
part of the excitement that you can save everything and have those images of things that you've seen. It is an investment, but one that can deliver many hours, as you hinted at, many hours of fascination, really for the whole family.
Yeah, definitely.
So there's more information at Unistellar, Unistellar.com. Laurent Marfisi, congratulations to you and the team there on all of the innovations, and thanks for spending time with us.
Thank you very much, Brad. That was a pleasure.